Okay, so I have this problem going on with my 1995 Chevy Silverado, and I can't guarantee it's going to do it or not. But basically, it can happen from a cold start sitting overnight. It's actually happened from just driving the truck for 20-30 minutes at a time. Basically, I crank it up, and it'll shake a little bit, like it's stumbling basically, like it wants to cut off. The RPM will kind of go down a little bit, and I don't know what's causing it. I'm not the original owner of the truck, so I have no idea when the last time the throttle body was clean on it, because this is a TBI motor. I had a mechanic suggest it's probably something to do with the TBI, maybe, or the evap sensor. So I'm really not sure, but let's see if it does it. Let's turn on the lights so we can see that light up. Okay, just like it's gonna do it. Like I said, sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. I put a brand new battery in it long ago. Had it. There it goes, doing that little, sort of like that, but it's usually worse. See the RPM's going up and down a little bit, it's moving. And it's like a slight shake in the truck. Sometimes it's more pronounced than that, where it'll, like, the truck will really just like stumble, like it's about to cut off, and the RPM will drop down like 500. It doesn't ever cut off, but let me see if I can let that truck runs. See if the truck is running. It'll also do that. And I don't know if it's time for the throttle body maybe to be clean, might be what's causing it, but that's a theory that I have. Just watch its RPMs. When it does it, the RPMs, it moves a little bit down. I'm just going to do it again. So once it gets to running for a little bit, then it stops, as far as like the RPM moving up and down. And the truck kind of smooths out the way it runs. It only does this when it cranks up. It never does it while it's running for an extended period of time. So if I ride the truck for 10-15 minutes down the road, it'll stop. So basically, it starts up, it'll run a little rough like that. Sometimes it'll act like it wants to cut off, and it'll stubble, and the truck will shake like it's going to cut off, and RPM drop down to 500, and then it'll spike back up to around about 1,000, and then it'll run like it is now, smoother. And after you ride it for a while, it runs pretty good. Put it into gear here. Truck sounds like a damn boat. And you can see we got it in drive here, and that's one thing to note is when it's in drive, it doesn't typically do it like it does when it's in park. It's like only when it's in park. as we go down the road here, it'll run perfectly fine. There's not, you know, any rough idling. It's smooth. Have no check engine light, no codes. Put a brand new map sensor on that long ago. I had two TPS sensors I was chasing a problem with the shifting. Turns out it was a loose connection to the battery, which that was fixed. I cleaned some of the sensors probably about half a year ago with some electrical cleaner I had. Some of them were dirty. That didn't cause us to do it because this is something that started about 2 months ago. So I'm going to pause it, stop at the next light, and see if it does it again. Okay, let's stop here at this light, see if it does it again. Alright, see, now it's running perfectly fine. That's what it does. First crank it up, start running like that, and it runs perfectly smooth after you drive it for a few minutes. We're gonna stop it one more time, see if I can get it to do it again. Okay, finally got to my location here. I was in the middle of town, and I was leaving the car wash, washing the salt off because they've got a lot of snow and salt in the road, so I didn't want to rust up my frame from neglecting to freaking wash the salt off. So we're sitting here at idle in park. I was running perfectly smooth. I drove about 20 minutes to get to where I am. And as I said, after you drive it for a while, it runs perfectly fine. It only happens when you first crank it up. Like, even listen to the truck now. So, for some reason, I can drive the truck, cut it off, or I can let it sit overnight. And it only does it when you first crank the truck up. After you ride it for a while, and you let the truck idle in park, it doesn't do it. And it only does it in park, by the way. It doesn't do it in drive, reverse, or neutral. It only does it in park. Crank it up. The RPM needle moves up and down a little bit. The engine sounds like it wants to stumble and cut off. You notice how it sounds, where it sounds like the engine is kind of, yeah, I guess you could say stumbling. That how it sounded earlier is kind of what it does, but it does it worse sometimes, where really the whole truck will shake, and it'll be like, and then it'll want to bog all the way down to 5 RPM. And it seems like it's just about to cut off, but it doesn't. And it comes back up to about 1,000 RPM. It runs like this after you drive it for a while. It runs perfectly smooth. Got no codes. I got no check engine light. I don't know.